Medusa Retold. Uncaged from the sweep of the sea, a fragile and unexpected thing is thrown onto the beach. Anger at displacement lashes out, the only thing that's free. Investigators come to see the lights that we might call lungs. Landlubbers and their young draw close. A small girl trips and falls, giving her armpit to cradle a jellyfish, both gasping on the sand. Torchlight and silence fall on the wobbled mass of tangled girl and tentacle. They breathe the shivered tide. To revenge themselves and show the girl what protection of the pack meant, they cut the jellyfish, which had acted on its nature, as each took part in theirs. But for all the puzzled science, they only found a transparent, dying on the beach, and they couldn't find the lights.
The girl, Nuala, pulls to her feet and drags in the sand. Her mother would drag her, furious by her hair if there weren't so many snake eyes watching. Smothering giggles, pointing and judging, she's embarrassed, has never known how to handle her headstrong girl with her outsized feelings for the sea and her cool-eyed creatures. Not for her the domestic comfort of a cat or a charming puppy to cuddle, but cold-blooded reptiles kept in temperate tanks, staring inviolate, all hooded eyes and hisses and ululating tongues like her. They are creaturely, primal with desperate, cold, strange furies, burning within and waiting to burst forth. And her mother knows things will just get harder. There's no one at home to lay down the law, and she's just too tired to do it anymore. Our girl, Nuala, she's growing up spiky, does things her own way and won't be told. The girl who found a jellyfish lying on the sand and protected it with her own brand of loyalty cries fealty to the sea, finds her own way to be creaturely, stands alone, with her snakes and iguanas, salamanders and newts, reptiles of all stripes, won't have parties, won't make friends. Her mum doesn't know the half of what goes on, closes her eyes to it, hopes and prays one day her straying daughter will come back to her side. She's older now, a punk princess in a sea green tutu and purple glitter Doc Martens, stomping across the rocks in hobnailed fury at some schoolyard injustice. A roaring girl, shouting, singing out loud, screaming appropriated pain. Sure, she's had it rough. So what? Plenty have it worse, but she's never known how to keep quiet, how to play well with others. Her sense of fair play and natural justice a lonesome mystery to the other girls and boys, goading this latchkey kid whose mum has to work 2 jobs to keep body and soul together. The father long gone, Italian itinerant, idealist and dreamer. Alessandro for the summer left her mother Kathleen holding the baby, and Kathleen is still holding on, calming her rages, holding back her hair as she throws up again after nightclubs and pubs and all the growing up stages. So she's 17 at last, at one with the sea, her sea-caged voice letting loose in a band, but they won't let her sing. Employed as a dancer, soon discovers a talent for mad-eyed drumming skills, sticks and dreads flying out her head, beating out a rhythm, keeping them in time, 2, 3, 4. Bandmate Athena is well impressed with her. Signing out, singer, songwriter and lead on guitar. She's never let anyone else in or let them go so far. The rhythm leads them on, they lose themselves in it. But Athena has a problem that no one will acknowledge. Strums a riff or two, stoned by 2 p.m, and the band's got no further than her dad's old garage. Nuala takes charge, kicks out all the rest. Their sound is changing, ranging further. They get some bookings and are gonna be the best. Do the birthdays of all her schoolmates. So they want to be friends now when they see her up on stage and have to admit, oh yeah, she's cool now. Athena laughs with her, is completely on her side, calls them the Medusine la Compagnia, The company of jellyfish, it takes her back to the scene on the sand, on the beach, all reconstructed memory. Kathleen has told the story so many times, the girl and the jellyfish, the crowd of one mind.
But it's alluring to be the cool one, the one they all want to be. The boys come on strong, and so do the girls. She's got big life choices now. Does she want to be one of them, or work on revenge? There's Rolo and Ronnie, goth twins in androgyny, she finds so intriguing. The alpha girl she has so firmly set against. The lone outsiders suddenly become interesting to the whole cast of bored English seaside town youth. Jackson, Penny, Sadie, Rick, April, and Lissa. Oh, Lissa, the ex, the stony-eyed minx that can still flip her heart. She's been at odds with them for years, temperamentally, culturally, politically, sexually, and now they find her interesting again. She wishes she could think straight, but her internal song just wants Lissa, Lissa, Lissa.
Let undress for the old lie of affection between us, and dressed in your mother of pearl, for the eccentric caught in the rain, for friendship once held tight, for the woman, for the mother of pearl, for the woman, on her way to the seaside and dressed in her mother's pearls, who insists on dancing the beach in a long ball gown and barefoot, but otherwise utterly unsuited to drag through the surf, insulted till taffeta, mermaidic silk wrap, bladder wrapped. Let him dress for the footprints, dressed in loose ropes and losing mother of pearl, creeping over broken clamshell, fish guts, and old abandoned barbecue, filthy sanded lucre of muscle instep. She's lost her mother of pearl, barbs of jelly and odd squares of cuttle, crying with laughter as a white wave knocks her down, to sit in the sharp sand, building lost castles. The future sobs away, a while searching out lost mother of pearl, the veiled glint of bright dream, till shipwreck come, again and again, and ebb again the wild.
The school are on a scuba trip, and the band is going too. Nuala's got Athena as a partner, the only one she trusts to go down to the ocean bed. They listen to the coach assembled in their gear. No one is playing up. They understand and have things clear. Nuala and Athena are first to go under. The experienced divers. The others watch them carefully and take their cue, and then it's off into the blue cold aquarium to see what they can see now, only half an hour from tragedy. It's Athena that gets into difficulty and pulls on the rope. Something's wrong with her air supply and she's starting to choke. Panic kicks for the surface. Nuala's got her ankle caught in a rocky crevice, cuts the line and shoots up too fast, can't shout out in her face mask. She knows it's a risk going up too quick and feels a rupture in her ear. A howl of pain escapes from her and her face mask disappears. The goth twins have seen what's going down. One of them lights a flare. The others have forgotten about. The red light draws them to the surface slowly, save Athena, who's thrashing like a fish caught in a net. Blue lights flash and Athena is hauled out and off to hospital. She's got the bends and Nuala's got a perforated eardrum. The sound's punched out. At the hospital, there's no news. And Kathleen is praying for the fate of her child's best and only friend. She doesn't know what she would do, and what would she do without her best mate? The hours go by and there's no word. Nuala's pacing the ward and wobbly. no balance with one eardrum gone, the hate in her heart turning her to stone. And when they give her the news, the very worst news, she becomes what she always had the potential to become, the Godhead, the steely-eyed Gorgon, the Medusa reborn.
They say I'm angry like I haven't got the right, like the snakes in my head sound too loud and too bright. They're drumming out the dead and then they're drumming out the light. Fury makes blood patterns shooting thoughts and sights. Of course I'm bloody angry, but that's not enough, not nearly enough. I am incandescent with rage, and I can't understand why they don't think that's all right. That maybe it's just a phase, a stage of growing up and getting on and accepting things have happened that weren't meant to be, but just are. Sorry. Not bloody sorry. I can't do that. I can't accept the bar being so low that we have to step over it, not limber under. I'm sorry you can't accept my anger, and I'm sorry that my best friend is dead. It could have been avoided. It should have been avoided. It would have been avoided if things had been different. Different how, different who, different when. All of this is just over and over again. I can't cry anymore. I can only rage. It's all that I've got left. And I wish that you could see this. See how I'm bereft.
Nuala's up in arms, but she just can't cry. And she's angry now, more angry than she's ever been. For Athena now, she's going to get mean. Going to be more herself than she has ever been. And this town is going to see something they've never seen. She shakes out her salt long braids. Saturated with the sun, God's fire, let the bright sparks of jelly stings crackle on her skin. The one with the welts and purple rivulets, curating the skin she's been living in. Rippling across her shoulders like a snake about to shed. No one will cross her now. No one shakes their head as they look at her wield the maggoty hate in her heart. How it takes hold, makes her lose reason, aim high and bold, snaking lines and curves of movement, dancing thoughts of revenge, spinning spiders in her head.
The world is more whooshy and watery than it was. Ears singing like a seashell with damped down noise. Losing balance to tinnitus helped be in my own dark world. More to worry about than making friends, making reparations, making nice. When no one can look, she, who was one of two, they see her coming in windows, in mirrors, they block her gaze and turn away. None can speak to her while she wears this cloak of tragedy. Wrong place, wrong time. Her grief is overwhelming, her silence immense. The twins turn their backs and stack books. The alpha girls can find nothing to say or giggle about. The boys stare at the floor. No girl looks directly at her, as if they might turn to stone. Even Lissa, who knows her best, has nothing to say, no comfort to give. No one shares this grief. They did not know Athena or want to. It's something like survivor guilt, labelled and writ large. It's all Nuala's fault. Medusian la compagnie, they always were and shall remain. She won't look to Lissa again, she who has a heart still, though she could wish it wasn't so. Wishes she could just let go. But no.
Nuala stands on the hill, looks out at the town, watching through her fingers like when she was a girl, peeping through the arms of the statuary, the angels winged and lost, elaborate headstones, entwined arms of godmothers past, favoured hounds and horses, war sprites and words from the Bible. She and Athena used to come here to drink cider on the lots. They didn't care if it was disrespectful. These had their time over, and now it was their chance. She thinks of her friend now, and the tears roll down, missing her so much she can't sing or even speak. But she's banned from the funeral and saying her last goodbyes. Her mother had to tell her, and Kathleen, she thinks it was the hardest blow, something so mean. Her girl is suffering too. So she runs up the hill and hides her tears among the statues, thinks she'd like to sort a Viking funeral. A big wooden boat, set on fire and sent out on the water, a dignified funeral pyre, thinks to herself.
A boat is a harness, a link, between us and the all-nature's watery slink, an unknowable force, ever-movable body, with only the moon to tame and betide her, glinting at secrets and ever above her. A boat is a crib or a coffin, launched in hope or lament, Viking or cargo, a fire or a sleep. She whistles the wind to rock out the tides, all general tilt and lift, show and recover. A boat is a restless creature, full of breath and desire, a sway dance breeze of a red sail sliding, lifted up like hands to their prayers and a belief in higher powers, life entrusted to board and to flap. A boat is chasing the horizon all hours. Superstition her constant, blue-lined keel and a carefree calling, born into a cool sea breeze, Unruhe and Fernvey, heeds a call to adventure, canary yellow deck, and a boat sails on, the blue ocean slaps.
And now there's a man thinks he knows me, wants what's in my head. I can't think I believe him, think it's my body he wants instead. But I'm a blur of movement and so is he, can't control his wanting, and at least he wants me. At least I'm good for something, and it shuts out the snaking voices in my head. For a while I can think of something else than Athena's vivid smile. He says he's going to take care of me, and sometimes I wish he would. I've dropped out of school again just because I could. Mom wasn't happy, but Mom doesn't get a say. I'm old enough now to make my own way, and my man lets me stay at his. Home away from home. Oh, Mom can say she's disappointed. Didn't work all those hours so I can be a teenage mom. Stats on the side. She's spouting them in hate. I can't stay to listen and go or I'll be late. Oh, he's got a temper, yeah. So what? It's true. At least he doesn't scare me or beat me black and blue. But I see a warning face staring in the mirror and have to cover up the truth. Can't stand her staring back at me with her snake tattoo rippling into muscle all grainy green and blue. And I wonder where she went, that girl I used to know. Cut off in her prime, says Kathleen, and I don't know what to do. A boy has turned her head and he's using her for sure. And I can't see the future standing on the shore. But it looks bleak for me and mine, and I wanted to wake up. Look at your life and mine before she suddenly turned 40 and regrets what's done is done. Athena wouldn't want this for you, and past love is gone. You should learn to honour her and get some self-respect. Leave this man who's no good for you and take time to reflect. Get back into college and start again. Of course they'll take you back. This time is so important and you don't get it back. You don't get it back.
When I told him what was going down, he had a mental break, started cutting on me and my braids gone to snakes. Then I really was afraid and I thought he'd end me there, looking in the kitchen and kneeling on the stair. Thought I saw for a moment in my window reflection, Athena stood there, waiting in her chamber for someone to do her hair. And then there was a blinding mirror flash. Too many somethings said aloud in anger, in all the unlacing, brutal silences, until what was bruising us and our lives together was all too much intensity, battling heads, crossing swords with each other's sanctity. One of us had to move or scream aloud the act, and I knew I had to be the one. It was either him or me. It seemed such a mean, low trick. I couldn't believe it real. I had to move and be so quick, but he was faster still. And then it was, he broke my neck upon the windowsill. I hope I haunt him all his days with the trophy of my head, redeemer of his dreams and the harbinger of dread. No mirror to look around or reflect the aegis on his shield. I was made for more than this, so much more than this, and only to Athena will I bend and yield.